go now to David Wessel, who is in Washington. He is the global economics editor. And David, the one thing that seems clear is that we'll end up this election with divided government. Nobody's going to have firm control of the handles of power. We've seen in the last year and a half that divided government doesn't work very well. We know that there's some huge decisions that will be on the horizon immediately after the election about taxes and spending. What can you tell people about reason to expect that we're going to get out of this in a reasonable way?
I'm not sure I'm in that business. I think you have to go to church for that to get the faith. Look, what we know is this, that there is an enormous amount of anxiety inside and outside Washington about this so-called fiscal cliff, the spending cuts and tax increases that are set to take effect at the end of the year. And the betting of the financial markets, we just did a survey of forecasters on Wall Street, is that they'll find some way to avoid this. But because of the campaign and because of the polarization of Washington, there have been virtually no talks between Republicans and Democrats. And so the next few weeks will be very important. We'll be able to see whether the president, whether it's President Obama reelected, if he is, whether he can deal with the Republican leadership in Congress, if Mitt Romney wins, whether he can somehow convince his fellow Republicans to call off the thing. That's just a completely open question. There's a lot of anxiety about it. It shows up in the exit polls, but no consensus on what to do about
it. David, as you know, Mitt Romney and the Republicans more generally have been absolutely adamant in saying that that the solution can't involve tax increases. At the same time, Barack Obama and the Democrats have been equally adamant in saying you can't make significant cuts in Medicare benefits, and you have Mitt Romney having said that his first act would be to try and repeal Obamacare. None of that sets you up for the kind of deal you're going to need to make to avoid the fiscal cliff, does it?
You're absolutely right. But it's very hard to tell how much of what we've seen recently is people posturing for bargaining position, and what will they be really saying tomorrow? What will John Boehner, the Speaker of the House, say if tomorrow morning Barack Obama has been elected for a second term as president? What role will Paul Ryan play if he goes back to Congress? Similarly, if Mitt Romney wins, will the will the Democrats in Congress just adopt this don't say no offense and refuse to do anything? So the only thing that will force them to act are A, some kind of crisis. The fiscal cliff is one kind of crisis. Another is a financial market crisis, which hasn't happened yet. And the third is just a sense among some people in Congress that, darn it, we just got to get together and govern, and we got to stop with this partisan thing. There are a few people like that. They're clearly not the majority, and we'll just have to see what the environment is like tomorrow and a week from now.
And that will be the critical question tomorrow, regardless of what happens over the rest of tonight. David Wessel, thank you very much.